I was able to go from 0 to 20 to 40 to 60 to 100 to 122, and this year we're probably going to close at 300 sales. Today on the video, I'm going to give you everything you need to know to become successful and rich real estate agent, and I'm going to share my journey, how I got from 0 to 300 deals a year. If you don't know who I am, my name is Oleg. I'm a real estate broker and the managing broker of a real estate company called Komar here in Chicagoland. And I'm gonna give you my blueprint, what I believe is the most important things to know in the business, work on in the business, and get to the highest of the heights and become successful and make a lot of money. So we start off with the mindset. I believe, and everywhere, if you've seen my content, familiar with anything I say, if you know me personally, you know that everything starts with commitment and a mindset. And I believe that if you are interested in real estate industry, first of all, congratulations. This is a very beautiful industry. I think in terms of sales, this is one of the highest ticket sales items, other than probably a jet and a yacht and everything like that, but not that many people need it. This is a need. Shelter, clothing, and food is a need. And out of all those, shelter is the most expensive. So in terms of commitment, you have to be committed. You can't just put like 1 foot here, 1 foot there. You have to stay committed. You have to become committed. You have to kind of make sure that everything you're going to be doing show that you're a full-time real estate agent. Yeah, you can start part-time. We're going to show that you're full-time because that's where you're going. Because that's what you're going to be projecting. That's what you believe in, and that's what people are going to believe in. And that's how you're going to become a successful and full-time real estate agent. First thing is commitment, because everything you're going to be doing and everything you're going to be saying is going to convey your commitment. So if you're like halfway into the business, people are going to feel, because you're not going to be putting enough efforts to know all about different loan products, everything, why closing costs for sellers are different for the buyers. You're not going to be learning about it if you're not committed to success. The reason you're not committed to success is because you probably don't believe that the success could be achieved. You need to hang around people that are successful in this business. In order for you to hang around with them, you probably want to meet and be in a part of a successful real estate brokerage. Or you might go to some sort of events, maybe where you can meet, or if you can find a mentor you can work with. That's also a very good way to start in a business. Or you join a team that's successful, and that way you are part of the team that's doing a lot of business. Abundant mindset starts with believing and looking around and seeing how many properties there are. There's so much business in the industry. You can't even handle all the business. And so there's all the money in the world that you need as around you. And all you have to do is reach out to people that have that. The way you reach out, we're going to talk about it. It's going to be different. Throughout the years, the way of generating business is different now, but the principles are the same. It's still a contact game. The more contacts, the more contracts, more money. So everything starts with an abundant mindset, commitment to the business, and finding somebody you can join that you can just work for free. Basically, first you're going to get your license, of course, and then you're going to join something. Either that's the brokerage, there's going to be somebody that you can follow, either the mentor or the managing broker, or there's a successful real estate agent that you can join and work for free for them. Do the coffee for them, pick up laundry for them, do everything they ask you to do. Work for free. You're going to start seeing different patterns that agent is doing, how they communicate with sellers, how they communicate with buyers, how they write emails, how they do the business. And you're going to start getting in the momentum of lead generating. Probably, if that's what your goal would be, to be on your own, you're gonna realize that lead generation is the #1 skill that you need to work on. Other than later, you're gonna have to be working on people skills, communication skills, sales skills, and also sorts of skills. But lead generation is going to be the skill that you will understand that everything in this business depends on how many leads you have and how full your pipeline looks. By that, I mean how many contracts you have right now, how many active clients do you have right now, and how much lead generation activity you're doing every day in order for you to have a front end of the pipeline open so you have the new leads coming in. And you will every day look at the pipeline as something that you're working on every single day. Referrals is the name of the game. The referrals is something that will keep the pipeline full, but you can't have it now. You're not ready for the referrals, and you haven't deserved the referrals.
Get their names to sell them. You can't close the leads you're given. You can't close.
All done. You understand the importance of lead generation. You're reading news and articles every single day. You're ready to go. You equip. You believe that there's a lot of money made in the business, and you're just ready to go. In the beginning, you're going to be testing little different lead sources channels. You're going to be calling. You're going to be doing content. You're going to be doing open houses, maybe some door knocking, maybe some mailers. Different sorts of lead generation strategies you're going to be testing and seeing what works for you. There's something that's going to be working and something that's kind of you putting energy into, but it's not working yet.
The leads are weak. The leads are weak. You're weak.
For some, it takes a year. For some, it takes 2 years. Depending on what kind of channels you're going to get and what kind of foundation you already have, you're going to get there within a year or two, probably. Most cases, you'll get there within 1 year. But you're going to have probably 1 to 2 channels that produces business for you.
Always be closing.
You need to let everybody know that knows you, that you're in the business. That's your number 1 job. So you're closing around 20 deals a year. Also going to be learning how to show the property, how to negotiate the deal, how to write a contract, how to do inspection, and learning about the closing costs and everything like that. My very first deal that I did was the one that was not on MLS. I represented the buyer, but how I found the seller was through For Sale by Owner. I reached out to For Sale by Owner, and they said, we're selling the house without the agent. If you have somebody, bring him. And I looked at the price point and location, and I thought that this could be good for the builder. And also the seller told me that the house is not in a good shape. It have to be probably either rehab or tear down. And so I lined up the developer because I knew there's a developer through one connection. And that connection was also a real estate agent. And so I reached out to the agent. That agent reached out to a developer. We got a deal. I got a couple $1,000s. I got half of the half of the half. I didn't get much, but at the end, I put a deal together. I was the happiest person in the world just putting the deal together that was not on the MLS.
Nice.
Just learning to think outside the box is something that you would also want to implement in that first period of time, 0 to 20 deals a year, because that's going to take you far. From 20 to 100 deals a year, you want to keep doing what you're doing, but you also will be adding other lead generation channels. Some of them will require money, and some will just require new skills. So for example, if you've been working with just your database, and you haven't been doing social media, and you haven't been calling any leads for listings, and you haven't been mailing any neighborhoods, those are the avenues that have a lot of success. And you're going to be doing what you've been doing. You're going to be adding more friends to Facebook. You're going to be following more people on Instagram. You're going to be staying top of mind to those that you've been doing business with. But also you'll start doing content, and you'll start calling for listings. You will have 3 to 4 lead generation channels, and you will start implementing, and you will start spending some money because now you already have a little bit of cash flow coming in. You already can spend something on the mailers. You can spend and have a website, which is great. If you have a website that's IDX, then you can share links that are going to lead to your website. People will register, and you will have their information into a CRM. Every time I share a listing and I put a link to our listings, I get a bunch of leads. You want to keep adding lead generation sources slowly, but that would require a couple of lead gen sources. If you ask a regular real estate agent who's doing roughly 40 deals a year, they don't put a finger on the one source of lead generation source that's bringing all the business. You want to have a CRM that has automations that people that already bought and sold with you, they're not lost. You have to have the CRM that keeps following up with them on a regular basis. They get something from you in the mail as well. You have something on the back end that keeps feeding them, so you have the referrals coming. And now you're still focusing on lead generation, and then you're using the videos and content because that accomplishes 2 things. It touches the people that already know you and reaches people that don't know you. So now your business starts growing, plus those that don't know you get to know you and get to see if they can trust you and like you. Another one, once you're doing some closings already, you want to mail the area that closed with you. You want to see if there's any other sellers that want to sell the house. Basically, even if you brought the buyer, you can still mail and say, I represented the buyer, I brought the buyer. You might still land the listing. Between 40 and 50 transactions, in my opinion, you're gonna have to have some help. You're gonna have to have some assistant that's gonna be helping you with the paperwork. If you're in the brokerage that is doing everything paperless, you still need somebody who is going to support and kind of, if you're doing a lot of marketing, they need to plan for your events. You want some logos printed. You probably want to have somebody who's going to be helping out. Maybe in the beginning you can leverage somebody from the brokerage, or maybe you can partner up with somebody else who's going to help you out with the transaction management and just admin support. That's how you're going to get to 100 deals. Really, everything, you don't have to have everything systemized. Really, I sold 132 houses with no assistant, and I had 2 agents that were helping me show properties. We were doing everything with the paperwork on our own. Everything was virtual, but we were able to do everything on our own, and I sold 132 houses with no assistance. So everything is possible. It's messy, but if you're growing and things are working out, you're making money, you're gonna figure it out anyway. Somewhere between 60, 70 deals, you can start thinking about leveraging somebody. It could be a virtual assistant too. That's probably going to be the cheapest. And you're going to understand the power of referrals, and you're going to understand the power of great service and paying attention to clients' expectations and customer service. This is going to be a differentiator. This is going to put everybody else out of business, but you're going to be still in the business. If the market becomes tough, customer experience is going to carry you forward. That's when referrals will be coming. That's when they're going to repeat. They're going to come back to your business. And I'll give you one more. The easiest way for you to grow, the easiest way, is to deal with someone who brings you more than one transaction. Who brings you more than one transaction is investors. Investors keep buying and they also keep selling. So they do a lot of transactions, even on an annual basis, and that adds on to your overall total of number of transactions. If we end up closing 300 deals this year, probably half of that is going to be investors, or just owner occupants buying and selling their homes. But investors is a big role. It's been huge customer base for me. They keep buying because I also been investor, and I also been researching and buying and investing in properties. And a lot of people that see that real estate agent invest in the business, they get attracted. And that's why I actually shared recently that I bought a building, because I wanted to attract more multifamily buyers. By investing in real estate, by understanding investments, by researching and knowing all the loan products and running the numbers, how to run cap rate, cash on cash returns, you're gonna do a lot of business, and you're gonna attract a lot of clients that do a lot of repeat and referral business. And also a lot of investors know other investors. So you're gonna be busy by investors, and that's how you're gonna grow even faster. In order for you to grow from 100 transaction and higher, that's gonna require the team. You're not going to be able to do it on your own. Even getting to 100 is going to be tough on your own. You usually will have somebody else on your team. You're probably not going to be able to be as a single agent from 20 to close to 100 deals. You might be, but it's going to be very tough. You need some help with showing properties. So from 100 to a 200 or 300, whatever it's going to be a growing team. You're going to be looking for talent. You're going to be recruiting. You're going to be probably buying leads for your team members. If I would compare right now how much we spend versus how much I've been spending when I was a single agent, you can't even compare. That's by like probably 7 times more. And I was spending, when I was growing from 60 to 100 deals a year, I was also spending a lot of money on mailers and a lot of leads. We got an office, we got payroll, we got software, we provide software for agents. It's just, and right now we're expanding office. The expenses and overhead is just, it's high. And a lot of times once you're growing past that point, you're gonna see a point of kind of like diminishing returns, I would say, is that the next 20 deals didn't really bring anything to the bottom line because you had to buy something that those 20 deals will cover. Whichever the direction you're going to be going, because going past 100 deals is either you're going to be going a team model or you're going to be going brokerage model. There's no other way, basically. There's no other way. You're not going to be able to do it yourself, so you have to have people. Either you go on a team model or you go on a brokerage model. I'm not going to go into that. It's your own decision. You're going to decide which way to go, but it's going to require more tools, more software, more people, more payroll, more bigger office, more leads probably. If you're going to be going team, you're going to be providing leads to agents. There's going to be more meetings. There's going to be problems you're going to be dealing with that you haven't been dealing before because you were just selling properties. Your business will have a lot of lead sources. You're going to be probably maybe sometimes even doing lead TV, radio, billboards, and TV. Possibly you're probably going to have a phone system. You're probably going to have accountant at that point. But you're never going to stop creating content. And at that level, in today's age, you're going to be doing content all day, all the time. Whether you choose to go from 0 to 300, 500,000 deals a year, or you just decide to stay at 40 deals a year, 30 deals a year, both are great. Everybody picks their own way. I'm just sharing what I'm doing and how to get to that level. And I'm still learning. We still have a goal of reaching more transactions a year. Whichever way you choose, the fundamentals are the same. It's a client care, it's the customer service that they receive, it's the fact that you need to market every time you have a success, follow up with all the leads that you ever get. Those are the three most important things that you need to focus on, and have patience because the success is coming. Every single year you get a better year, it's more sales, it's more success. If you truly want to be in this business for a long haul, you're gonna have a client success as the number one priority. You can't be a secret agent. You have to be a perfect agent, provide awesome customer care, but also market that you did it, and also market every time you have success. I hope this video brings you value, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks so much. See you next time.